Hello, this is Trent, and today on GameTalk, I want to share my thoughts on Defiance 2050. For those who don't know, Defiance 2050 is an online, open-world first-person shooter developed by Trine Worlds for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. The game's story is taken from the TV show Defiance, so I think that's pretty cool that they took a TV show and they turned it into an online game. More reasons for you to give it a try. So I've been playing this MMO for about a few days now, and I love it. For those who've played Firefall or Destiny 2 and were disappointed, this is the game that they should have been. It's also a good example of what to expect a new game Anthem will feel like. Granted, Anthem has billions of dollars put into it, and it's a lot more sci-fi and futuristic, but Defiance 2050 will give you a really good example of like what to expect. Graphically, this game is okay. It runs fairly smoothly. I could play on max settings without any problems, but I prefer performance over looks. That's just me. You can play however you want. So like any MMO, you start off by creating a character. There are 3 races and 4 classes to pick from at the start of the game. The 5th class you can unlock through playing the game. As you level up your character, you'll be able to unlock all the classes, and it's worth it since each of them have their own abilities that change your playstyle, which is further changed by the weapon you picked. And I have to say the combat feels a lot like Tom Clancy's Division, which is a good thing since that game had pretty good combat mechanics. The class mechanics, in my opinion, is really good, and the way they set up the game makes it so that you can party up with just about anyone and use whatever build you want. Because the issue I have in like other games is like just say they're looking for a group to go to a dungeon, they'll probably say they're looking for a tank only or they're looking for a healer, and if you pick those roles and you don't do it correctly, the whole party gets mad at you. Whereas like in this game, you can pick whatever class you want, whatever weapon you want, create your own build, go into any party and perform just fine. If the team fails, then it's just like, hey, let's try again and do better next time. It's not like, hey, let's kick this guy out because he was doing bad healing. You get none of that. That's why I love games like this. And you know, since this is an open world, this means that you can go anywhere you want in the world. From the beginning of the game, there are no limitations and there aren't any loading screens. Like I've traveled from one end of the map all the way to the bottom, and the map is huge. It's really big, and not a single loading screen. Even when you do the instant missions, there aren't any loading screens, which is amazing. So that's more of a reason to play. No loading screens. There are a few cons I found while playing this game. So one of them, which is an extreme problem, is that the game is very laggy, and for a first-person shooter, that is a problem. I hope Trine Worlds is working on it, trying to fix it, because I know some people will definitely get annoyed by the lagginess. But the other thing is the UI. In my opinion, the UI has a really weird contrast to it. Kind of hurts my eyes a little bit. It's kind of too bright, which had like a darker background. But also the game doesn't really explain much about the UIs or certain game mechanics very early on in the game. You'll get those in like little snippets, like the AI will tell you or reference it, but most times like you would kind of already figure it out from either on your own or from other players. And I have to say the community is very helpful. If you need to join a squad or a party to do a mission or you need help somewhere, everyone is willing to help. Especially since the events in this game, the meta events, when you look on the map, you have these red circles, and that's where like this huge events going on, where there's lots of enemies and there's great rewards, and you just see everybody there. And if you look on your mini map, you'll also see purple dots of nearby players, so that's always a good thing. Like most people hop into online games and like, wow, this game is empty, I don't see anybody. Well, in this game, if you don't see anyone right away, it's mainly because they're all at the red circle. So if you look at your map, see red circles, that's generally where everyone will be, so they can collect that loot. So that's where you want to be. Other than that, I've seen there's a fair amount of people online. I play during the middle of the day, and I see a lot of people going around. And when I'm doing missions, there are also other players there that pop in and help our missions. So you can always find things to do. And yeah, and I think the added bonus about this game is the vehicles. You can get vehicles, little like four-wheeled, uh, like motorcycles, and drive around and go anywhere you want. And as you use your vehicles, it has its own level, so you can upgrade that, get better vehicles. You can also go in a cash shop and buy them if you want. And the cash shop is also another great thing. Most games, they put limitations on their games, and then they have the cash shop as a way of, hey, you could purchase this in the cash shop to get around the limitation. None of this in this game. In this game, the cash shop is, most of the things is cosmetic, and it's worth your money, and you don't actually need to spend anything in the cash shop to get a much out of this game. Like, it's completely worth it. You could get a lot of this game, and it's, the game itself is free, so you're not gonna lose anything right away. So I would highly recommend trying this game out. And if you do like it, then purchase something in the cash shop, because I'm always a supporter of developers. They have families to feed, so support where you can. So that's it for this game talk. Please like, share this video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.